It's awesome. We're riding DJ, they both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. In this digital age, we gather online. No need to travel, no waiting in line. From the comfort of home, our passion takes light. Break big dividers, but our heart bars are right. Can't attend live, don't let it dismay. The play's on the way, just a click, no delay. Curicon, the future's awesome. We're riding DJ, they both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. So spread the word, let the assignment unfold. Curicon's the place for teachers, it's our world. In the realm of light, together we'll find. Our Curicon, let make the future come alive. Awesome. We're riding GG, they both belong.
Welcome back to day 4, session 5 of Curicon, featuring the insightful Aileen Wallace from Scotland, tuning in at midnight, being a trooper, and bringing some Curipod knowledge to you. In this eye-opening session, we'll explore the student perspective on Curipod, which is a fresh new look from what we've seen all week, the revolutionary educational platform. We're going to gain insightful insights, valuable insights into how students prefer to engage with Curipod and discover their thoughts on what they think teachers need to know to maximize its potential. So get ready to bridge the gap between student experiences and teacher readiness. This session promises a glimpse into the students' world, shedding light on their preference and expectations. And we're about to bring up Aileen right now, but I just wanted to show you this. It's a sprite, but it's a starry. Oh, okay. That's my green screen humor for today.
God, I hope you live up to that intro. Good evening, morning, whatever it is.
It is, yeah. We're tuning in from everywhere. So whether you're catching it now or on the replay, thank you for joining us. And we got, oh my God, Christy's so excited. We've got Eirik joining in from Norway, which I think it's
another hour ahead of me.
Yeah, another hour. So it's like 1, or it's going to be 1 by the time he's going to be
by the time he's finished. Yeah.
Yeah. Jolene's super excited about the session. We've got Canada in the house, Melissa. Oh yeah, forgot that. So excited. Hey, y'all from Georgia. Wow. Midnight. Yep. Go Aileen. Or Aileen, sorry. There's a song, Midnight's Runner, is Come On, Aileen.
All my life, that song has haunted me at every wedding, everything. That song haunts me.
Well, I'm sorry to haunt you with it today. I had Arlene as my book layout person, so I'm like, come on, Arlene.
That works
too. Graphics must be clean. Yeah, I'm like a song rewriter here. We've got Stella from Argentina joining us again. Jessica from Georgia. Thank you, Jessica. We've got Helena from the Virgin Islands. We've got Tanya. So yay. Wisconsin in the house. We've got North Dakota, Michigan. Keisha's here, Rockwell, Texas. Sorry, I'm just going through these. And Jolene says, I feel your pain. Jolene follows me everywhere.
Oh, never thought, yes.
Dolly Parton, though. I mean, come on. That's iconic. I would love for that song to follow me. I just get Amanda by Boston or Mandy. Yeah. So, and then we've got Wichita, Kansas in the house. So without further ado, Aileen, would you like to give a little bit of your background, what you do in Scotland, and a little bit about your students who are going to inform us on teacher readiness?
I will do my best. So I've been teaching now for about 16 years. I started out as a history teacher, and I now teach what we in Scotland call modern studies. It's a kind of an odd subject. It doesn't really relate to anything. We do a bit of politics, we would do a bit of sociology, we do a bit of sort of, basically the joke is if you watched it on the news last night, I'm going to be teaching it the next day of my lesson. So that's kind of what modern studies is. My school is a normal state secondary school. So I've got everybody from S1 to S6, so 10-year-olds up to 18-year-olds. I'm still getting to grips with how sort of American teachers have their different grades and things. So I have kids from all levels, so I can jump from talking with 17 and 18-year-olds on democracy and voting systems right the way back down to 10-year-olds doing the basics. I came in contact with Curipod exactly 9 months ago today. I double checked it. I did a course on the 26th of January and discovered Curipod. I went, that sounds interesting. And then promptly got utterly addicted. And now every single lesson of mine is on Curipod. And the kids know when they come in the door, their iPads are out and that's what they're going to do. So my kids have been using this now for about 6 months. So hopefully, I saw a few people at the beginning, the first couple of sessions were brand new. So this might give you an idea of sort of what kids who are used to using Curipod get out of it.
Absolutely. And before I throw up your slides, I just want to give a big shout out to Erica Sandstrom for her last amazing session. We didn't start. I knew she was going to drop some gems. We started a little bit late to give her time to finish because we didn't want to take the audience from her goodness, and also for being the closer for the last 2 days and closing out all these sessions and making it possible for us to run these as tight and back to back as we are. But I'm going to go ahead and bring up your slides. And I'm going to pop down and let you go with your magic.
Okay, I'll do my best.
All right, here we go.
Right, so quite genuinely, this is the first time I have even shared my screen. This is the first time I've done anything like this, so please bear with me, folks. I've kept this as simple as possible. I know there's been lots of interactivity tonight, but I'm trying to keep this simple for my sanity as much as anything else. Right. This is my high school in Falkirk in Scotland. Like I said, we have got everything from 11 to 18-year-olds. Yeah, well, Dan will know how the schools work up here. So teachers have every single age group. And just after we all came back from COVID, my local authority gave all the kids iPads. So at first, I was very much anti-iPads. I thought they were a waste of time and money. Like I said, January this year, I discovered Curipod and it has just taken over. I'm probably one of the teachers who uses their iPads and uses the tech in class most. Curipod are great for turning to teachers and asking us what we want. So I thought I would do their theory and I would ask the kids what they want. So I'm going to have a look at some of the things that you guys have been doing tonight in other sessions and letting you know what my students think about it. So brain breaks. It's one of the things that they absolutely adore when the AI comes up with something really daft for them to draw. I put out assignments on Teams for my students to give me anonymous feedback on what they thought. And this is some of the feedback that they gave us on brain breaks. As you can imagine, they like it really. It's really fun. It's really engaging for them. But I was interested how many of the students came back to me and said, actually, the reason I like it is because it gives my brain that break that I can process what we've been talking about before we move on to the next thing. Or the kids that said, if we've got a double period or it's a long lesson, it gets our attention back, it breaks things up so we're not getting bored, our minds aren't wandering, we're not checking our phones to see what's on Snapchat or our pals have been saying. So the brain breaks are there just to give them a pause before they move on to the next bit. So I'm not going to do that dreadful thing of reading the slide out. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds if you want to have a read over of any of the comments. And I can try and get some moisture back in my mouth. They get very huffy if I skip over a brain break in class because we're running out of time. So this is one that if it's not included, I find out that it's done. This is one from the last week of term, just to give you an idea, some of the things that kids do if you haven't used Curipod before. So the AI came up with, they had to draw a pink pig smiling in a convertible. And as you've already seen in the moderator tool, you can see what the kids are drawing. So I love passing comment on it. And the kids start shouting out, oh, what do you think of mine, miss? What do you think of mine? So I think Erica was talking about building relationships. The brain break gives you a real chance to build relationships with students. And it lets them see another side of you and you get to see another side of them. These were actually from today. These were my third year kids. So they're about 13, 14, and they had to draw a frog surfing. So this was one of the ones they did this afternoon. And we're actually doing quite a serious issue with them at the moment of terrorism. Thank you, Eric. So this just gave their brains a break from thinking about this big issue of terrorism, give them a couple of minutes, and then we jump back into it. So again, for those of you who are brand new to Curipod and are just trying it out this week or are looking at it, these are the kind of things that you're going to get coming out. Drawing tasks. Some of the people have been talking about drawing tasks today. There are loads of different learning styles for people. Some kids write liking notes. Some kids like drawing. Some kids like talking to you. Giving them a drawing task gives them another way to give you the feedback that you're looking for. And again, I was really amazed at how many of my kids came back to me and said, yeah, it actually lets us think about a topic in a different way. We enjoy it. It's not a written task. It doesn't feel like work, but it lets them think about a topic in a different way. And particularly I found in senior school, when the students are so used to doing lots and lots of notes, turning around to them saying, right, I want you to draw me a voting system first past the post, draw it for me. And they suddenly have to think about what they're doing. So as you can see there, they don't get bored or distracted. They've got these drawing tasks in. It breaks up the learning, and it helps them see other people's opinions, because they look at how somebody else considers it and goes, oh, I didn't think about doing it like that. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So these were my higher students who were about 17, were looking at voting influences. So they were to draw voting influences as a geographical influence. I gave them the map of Britain, and then it was up to them how they did it. So they went for really simple, colouring in with the different colours of the political parties, but it let me see really quickly who understood it and who didn't. This one I was really impressed with. This shows all the different ways that some of them are using these drawing tools. This was a 4th year class, so they're about 15, 16. You've got kids who are drawing mind maps as you'd expect them to, but also some of them are starting to pull in images. Some of them are starting to pull in photographs. They're starting to think more creatively, and it lets them really think quite deeply about what the topic is they're doing. Or for the kids who prefer writing on a piece of paper, as you can see there, one of my girls wrote it out in her jotter and then took a picture of it. And it just, they really enjoy presenting their thoughts in a different way. And it lets the different learners with different approaches come at it from a different viewpoint. I remember a couple of months ago, we had a really interesting discussion on the Ambassador Slack channel about voting. And there was some concern about, did it create a situation where some kids didn't want to take part because they didn't get the votes? They were sitting there with 1 vote, 2 votes, and every, was it, as Eric would say, was it the Hermione thing? Oh, so-and-so always puts their hand up, I'll not bother. So I asked my kids about this. How did they feel? Did they feel like it was some people won, so you stayed quiet, or did everybody? And they really liked it. They enjoyed the fact that they could see, oh, I only got three votes last time. I'm going to try harder now, and I'm going to go up the scale until they get themselves on the leaderboard. So it wasn't a competitive against each other. They see it as a competitive thing against themselves to make themselves do better. So they explain their opinion, or they explain their understanding in a way that helps them. So they actually really, really like the voting. This was, again, my little terrorism class. We were doing this week. They were looking at the issue of tackling terrorism. So they had to do quite a big answer for me. And as the Curipod folks will tell you, the point of these is to then start discussions. So we had a great big discussion about, okay, what made you vote for the one that you gave in first place? What was it about that? And they were able to talk me through. It gave its point, it gave its explanation, it gave its example. So they get the structure they need for their exams. And we had a really good discussion about, okay, why did that one get second? Oh, that one didn't have statistics, miss. Why did that one get third? Oh, they didn't tell us the point. And they really liked the chance to show off their knowledge as to why they chose certain things. This one, it was, again, we're still on the terrorism class, but instead of writing it, they to draw the consequences of terrorism. Again, they get to show their learning in a slightly different way. They get to express what they understand, and it lets me see what they know and what they like. One voting thing, 10 minutes discussion, lets you recap the lesson and move on. But the kids, some of the people were saying in Erica's session, if you don't do voting, they go nuts. They love it. They absolutely love get a chance to voting and sharing people's opinions. I think it comes down to the gamification of education. They're used to a winner's board. They're used to their games gaining points. I'm sure a lot of you use the likes of Blue-Kit. Again, if I don't use Blue-Kit, there is an uproar in my classroom. They like the challenge, they like the competition element, and this idea of, oh, we can't have somebody winning. No, the kids really, really enjoy competing against each other. I'll be honest, I was anxious about the AI feedback when I started using it. I wasn't sure how accurate it was going to be. I've tried it with the kids. My students are used to, anytime we try something new, we'll do a feedback session on, did you like it? Did you not? Was it useful? Will we do it again? Will we drop it? And what has come back is that they really like the AI feedback. And again, one of the reasons I thought I'd try this was, I think it might have been one of Dan Fitzpatrick's, the issue of, it's not feedback from the teacher, it's feedback from AI. So it doesn't matter if the teacher likes you or not. Students have it in their head that if you like the child, you'll give them good feedback, or she hates me, she's always shouting at me, I'm not going to get good feedback. The AI feedback totally takes that out, because they're getting it from the AI, so they trust it. They seem to trust it more. But also, if the AI feedback missteps, we have a really interesting discussion of, right, why are you disagreeing with that? What is it about the feedback? And it makes them look, we were talking about peer assessment. I love them doing peer assessment. I think it makes them better students. If you can mark somebody else's work, you can mark your own. So they look at the AI and go, okay, I'll agree with that section of it, but I disagree with this other section over here. So we've had good discussions about bias in AI and where they get the information from. I have 30 students in a class. I've got tell a lie, I have 4 exam classes. So there's 120 kids. I cannot give 120 students feedback every year, every day, every week. But with, not every year, I do give them at least once a year, I promise you. But with the AI feedback, I can give them answers in 30 seconds. And the students have found it really, really helpful. I would like to say that I have just copied and pasted their answers, so their spelling is theirs. It's not my bad typing. My typing's not great, but this is all genuinely theirs. So one of the kids there, I like Curipod because I like the way the AI gives you feedback and it feels better than the teacher giving you bad feedback. So it's not personalized against them. It's them going, oh no, actually the AI has looked at it and this is what it's decided. And they really like the speed that it happens. Christy mentioned earlier on the feedback repeat, and then you do it again. I've been doing that a few times. And the difference that I have seen in the answers is genuinely jaw-dropping. Students who I know were struggling before Christmas, I'm now looking at them coming out with A's and B's because they've got that confidence in class and they really like getting that feedback. They might not agree with it, but it still gets them thinking about what it is they've written. This is from my 4th year class. So these guys are about 15. We are doing crime at the moment. So this is one of the questions that we did just before the October break there. I am trying to get the AI to understand the very strict structure that they need to do for the Scottish exam system of this point, explain, example, and we are starting to get there. I think that's mainly me understanding it more than the feedback, than the AI, but we'll worry about that another day. So this is the kind of feedback the students are getting, and they're really taken very positively to that. It's nice to see the way they're reacting to it. I also asked them just sort of as a final one, like, is there any feedback that you want to give on Curipod in general? Because I have over the last 9 months given feedback to the guys and they've explained things or they've changed things, and the students absolutely love the fact that Curipod is so engaged with students and teachers that students can pass information on to their teachers who can pass it on to Curipod. And then it's reflected in the next set of generators that comes out, or it's reflected in a change that's happened. And it's that little bit of ownership that the class then feels. It goes, oh, listen to that. They listen to us. We're actually making a difference here. And it really gives them ownership of their learning, and it gives them ownership of the classroom. So they want little icons like they have in Blue-Kit next to their names. A playlist for the tunes would be appreciated, some of the girls have said. And one of the things that I really liked, and again, it was something that your students absolutely blindsided you. I like how you're able to hide the inappropriate questions, one of the kids said. The moderation tool makes them feel safer, because they know that there is nothing going to be going up on the screen that shouldn't be there, that is not somebody trying to take over the lesson and be funny, that's not somebody trying to bully. They like how safe it makes them feel, because they know that their teacher is in control of what's going up on the screen, and it is really easy for them to join. It's just as easy as it is for a Blooket or a Kahoot or a Quizlet, something like that. The kids are so chuffed that their feedback is getting passed to this company. They absolutely adore it. That you can just see them going out the door going, oh, we're telling everybody that, you know, we took part in this session. So it's really impressive how it's worked. And genuinely, if you have not tried Curipod, or this is the first week finding out, the difference you will see in your class is quite surprising. I really took it on because I had a couple of classes that, yeah, you're right. I do apologize for that. I had a couple of classes that were giving me no end of trouble, and I was trying lots and lots of different techniques. I always teach with my door open, and my faculty head is across the corridor, and he said he could hear when I started using Curipod and when the kids got into it. He said because what he could hear was me, he couldn't hear the kids until it was time for them to contribute. He could hear the difference in the quality of the lessons. He could hear the difference in the engagement. And I now have kids going up to their teachers in other lessons going, why aren't you using Curipod? It would really work in English. It would really work in this. We use it when this is well. Please, please. And they are begging their teachers to use Curipod elsewhere. And if you have got kids demanding and begging that you're using a platform, I think you're probably doing something right. So thank you very much for being with me tonight on my very first time of doing this. I have survived. I am fine. I'm going to go now and go to sleep because I have got double higher in the morning. So Erica, I think you're there.
Yeah, I can't believe how late it is for y'all. You're like, thank you, good night. I'm here every day.
Yes, I'm gone. I'm going to bed in about 5 minutes.
You can listen to your accent all night long. It's so good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you so much, and thanks for being here. That was awesome. I love the student feedback part. That's so important. And
it is, yeah.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm not even joking.
It is. It changed the way I taught when I started asking them what they thought.
Seriously, that's exactly the first question we should ask. We do need to pick a winner for you from your chat box. If there's anybody that you that stuck out.
My brain is currently frazzled.
You're tired. You go to bed. We'll post it. We'll figure it out because I have to rewatch this too, and I'll have Amanda pick, and someone here will win. But thank you so much, and
thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Have a good one.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Okay, so now you all get to move on to Diane Krause, Learning Materials for All with AI. And then after that at 7:30 is Eric Kurtz. So we will see you over there, and we'll let you know who the winners are. Thanks for being here, everybody. I got to stop pausing here at the end. Okay, see ya. Thanks.
Curicon, the future's awesome. We're writing teaching.